On the onset of Hitler's infamous Blitzkrieg campaign, Poland bore the brunt and wrath of the entire German army. Despite a heroic and honourable defence, Poland had no chance of stemming the seemingly never-ending tides of German manpower flooding their land. And to make things even worse, the British, their primary allies at the time, were too stunned to react. At the time of Hitler's invasion in September of 1939, the Polish Navy consisted of 4 destroyers, 5 submarines, 1 mine layer and 6 minesweepers, as well as several other smaller and older auxiliary boats. With their base being located in an awkward position at Gdynia in the Gulf of Dunks, as well as the Germans possessing a vastly superior navy and air force, a reluctant order was given to send around half of the Polish Navy to England for preservation, including 3 destroyers. This left an extremely small force to defend the home waters of Poland, and in short order, they were obliterated by the German bombers. Like 5 orphans, however, the submarines called Vulture, Wildcat, Lynx, Wolf, and Eagle had escaped their naval base at Gdynia after it had been captured and were cast into a hostile world entirely on their own. Although still armed with torpedoes and the will to fight, the protracted war the submarines were expecting never arrived due to the lack of naval activity in the Baltic region. The urge to fight was quickly replaced with the urge to survive, and one by one they were each confronted with a final moment of truth. In a 14-day period between September 11th and September the 25th, 2 of the 5 submarines of Vulture and Lynx were badly damaged and forced to limp to neutral Sweden, and another one, the Wildcat, was forced to give up the fight and surrender as Warsaw had fallen. The 2 submarines left floating in the depths of the Baltic Sea had no clue of the fate of the other submarines nor of Poland's status. Sensing the end was near, one of the submarines, the Wolf, made the decision early to abandon the Baltic Sea and plot a course for England, where they could link up with the Free Polish Navy there. The last submarine active, the Eagle, had perhaps the most interesting story of all. After spending days avoiding German Luftwaffe patrols and German traps designed to lure them into revealing themselves, their communications with the naval base at Gdynia was completely halted on the 12th of September. On this same day, the entire hydraulic system of the submarines collapsed and the commander of the submarine suffered a near-fatal illness. Now, the boat's executive officer, Lieutenant Jan Grudzinski, took over the helm and took the submarine to the supposedly neutral Estonia for emergency repairs and to place the commander in hospital. Under international law, the Poles expected they would be allowed to remain in port and make repairs for a grace period of 24 hours. Although the Estonians at first appeared to agree with this sentiment, when the Polish crew finished repairs long before the 24 hours expired, the Estonians suddenly made them wait 6 hours for a German freighter to clear the water. Expecting to follow the freighter out, the Estonians hit them with another surprise, and under a new declaration, they weren't allowed to leave and their ship was to be disassembled of anything that could be used as an instrument of war. Although the Estonians removed navigational instruments, charts, and vital components of the boat's deck guns, they had to wait till the next day to take away everything else, including the torpedoes. This left the Poles with the whole night to conspire, and they plotted their escape. During the next day, they sneakily sabotaged and observed the further dismantling of their ship, until the next day they finally made something of their prior work, snuck back on, and took 2 armed guards as prisoners aboard the submarine, with no harm done to either one. Although the submarine was now defunct of navigational equipments and charts, the officers got together and drew up a homemade set of charts based on each man's best recollection. They then also salvaged their radio, where they heard of their country's sad fate. Their first port of call was to sail to neutral Sweden to drop off the 2 Estonians in lifeboats. However, the Polish men of the Eagle had no intention of being interned there and instead made the extremely dangerous and arduous journey to friendly England. After navigating with a submarine with no navigational instruments through the danger-filled Baltic and North Sea, by mid-October, the submarine miraculously made it to England, where it could be restored to fight Germany once more, and fight Germany it did, becoming the first Allied sub to sink a German ship taking part in the invasion of Norway. Lieutenant Commander Grudzinski was posthumously awarded Poland's highest military honor for his remarkable feat in guiding the sub to safety, despite extremely unfavorable circumstances. The Eagle itself continued to fight well into the time of Hitler's invasion of France and the Low Countries until it was never heard from again, and the entire crew was presumed lost by the Polish Navy in exile. So guys, that was just a little story on the Polish Navy, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, as I think the Navy are probably the more obscure part of World War II and least discussed part anyway. So I'm glad to be covering them, and I hope that you're glad to watch them as well. And also guys, if you are enjoying our content, please do check out the Patreon, it really helps out. Anyways, as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new.